Hello everyone, today we'll be taking a look at the counterpart to the Knight's Edge and the final component before our long-awaited lecture on the Terrorblade. Once again, we will be taking a look at both the base and true versions together, and whilst this item shares a lot of backstory with the Knight's Edge, it may still be able to surprise. So without further ado, let's take a look at the Excalibur and the True Excalibur. Unlike the Knight's Edge, the Excalibur is not made from any lesser blades, and is forged directly from hallowed bars. Because of the actions that need to be conducted in order to obtain the hallowed bars, its wielder is almost tested to judge their worthiness to wield the weapon. The basic Excalibur can be forged together with the hero's blade in order to upgrade it to the True Excalibur, which, although not gaining much power, does obtain certain mystical attributes. The Excalibur is most commonly associated with the legends of King Arthur and Camelot. However, the Terrarian version unfortunately does not seem to bear any resemblance in design or history to the mythical variant, other than it being renowned as a weapon of justice. As such, the sword is often considered the sword of light, and is a relatively simple blade to craft when compared to the effort required to create the Knight's Edge. However, as it's created from hallowed bars, there is an inherent prevention in place to anyone underqualified to wield it. This is because an individual wishing to forge the sword must have not only defeated the wall of flesh to release the power of night and light upon the world, but also have slain at least one of the mechanical terrors. Although a significant and powerful weapon in its own right, like the Knight's Edge, the Excalibur is the inferior, incomplete counterpart to the True Excalibur, which, although not particularly any stronger, is capable of firing a projectile called the Light Beam, allowing the user to remain out of an opponent's reach. Once again, this draws a clear parallel with the Knight's Edge, highlighting how one is a blade of light and the other is a weapon of darkness. This also ties back to one of the legendary origins of the blade, during the Lizard Solar War between the worshippers of the sun and those of the moon. It has been proposed that the True Excalibur was first forged by the solar worshippers out of their strongest metal and imbued with mystical power, allowing it to summon the deadly Light Beam. When the war was over, the broken weapons were left strewn across the battlefield alongside their shattered dark counterparts, only to be collected by the Mothrans and later collectively known as the Hero Blades, which still carried the innate and lost mystical power required to enhance any modern Excaliburs. An interesting and not exactly widespread fact about the Excalibur is that it can actually be corrupted by the forgotten power of Blight into a weapon called the Tizona. As the power of Blight was lost when the one who spread it seemingly vanished from existence, it is unlikely that a corrupted variant of the Excalibur can ever be created again. However, there are rumours of strange and unusual variants of the Excalibur being crafted through the meshing of many souls and dark essences. The Excalibur is every bit as interesting as its dark counterpart, and despite their common ancestry, manages to stand out in its own right. Although the difference between the basic and True Excalibur is not as large as that of the Knight's Edge and its true variant, it is still significant, and once again warrants separate ratings for the two. Therefore, the Excalibur has been given an artifact rating of significant, and the True Excalibur of remarkable. So that's it. If not for the newly discovered Zenith, we would be at the penultimate page of our story. Even so, the fact that we've come this far, and we are actually on the verge of covering the Terrorblade, I think is pretty impressive in itself, so please feel free to get hyped for that. In the meantime, please remember to subscribe for more course material, and become a patron on Patreon for only $1 a month to gain access to my new lecture series profiles, and be able to vote on what we cover next. I'm told the first session went down pretty well, so make sure you drop $1 over at Patreon, and head over for that. Until then, make sure you have a great week, and I will see you next time.